Oh boy, what did I do here? Hello, guys. Can you hear me? Hello, Frankie Robertson. Robertson, sorry. Hello, greetings, welcome. How are you doing? Mecca Sunshine. I'm doing good. Drinking some water right now. Cheers. I went to see this movie last night. Eating You Alive was very interesting, very long movie. I've been talking to mom about the spring water. No more, no more. Only the still water. Yes, because I hope what I said and what I explained yesterday, I hope it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense scientifically. I mean, it is fact. I mean, spring water, it comes from the rocks and it's inorganic. And it's not like they're taking out the bad stuff. Okay, all of these things come from nature, arsenic and whatever, lead, mercury, all of those things are natural minerals, but they are also poisonous. I mean, arsenic is something that people used to use back in the day to kill their families. If they wanted to get rid of someone, they would use arsenic. I mean, I just finished reading a book, The Poisoner's Manual, and it's so interesting. It's actually a history of forensic science and uh, the lab that this guy, I forgot his name, the whole history of forensic science and how it developed in New York City, particularly the hospital at Bellevue, and the forensic lab there. And the name would come to me. Charles Norris, he was one of the pioneers in forensic science at the Bellevue Hospital in New York City. And the Poisoner's Manual is all about all of the poisons and that people used to use from arsenic, carbon monoxide, all of the things that people used to use to kill people. So anyway, that's not what we're talking about. But that's one of the books that I just finished reading, The Poisoner's Manual. It's a very interesting book. You should try and get that book and read it. You learn a lot about science. Um, so arsenic is a very dangerous poison. And yet, when they pull that water out of the ground, they have allowable limits of arsenic. I was reading it out. They have allowable limits, sorry, of arsenic that is left in the spring water. So you're getting that. And the thing about distilled water is that all of this is gone from it. Once the water is distilled, everything is gone. This is the only sure way of getting pure water without any kind of poisons, contaminants, bacteria. So it makes sense to me, and this is why I'm drinking it. If you get your minerals from your plant food, not your water. Thank you, Mecca Sunshine. It does make sense. So this movie, Eating You Alive, it's very interesting. It was a documentary actually with many doctors and their patients or people who had terrible illnesses from diabetes to cancer to cardiovascular diseases. They were just giving us their stories about how they healed themselves. And basically, it was the same story. They healed themselves by switching from meat eating to a plant based diet. And when their doctors gave them a diagnosis that was not pleasant, many of these doctors told them that they had 6 months to live. I mean, there was a story about a woman that I was, particularly interested in and grabbed me. She was diagnosed with cancer, breast cancer. And good morning, Nancy. Hope you're well. And she had a family history. Her sister, her parent, her mom, I think, if I remember correctly, had breast cancer, I think uterine cancer, and the doctor gave her 6 months to live. And of course, they give you 6 months to live as if they're God and they know everything, and So she said, no, I'm going to see you in 6 months, and of course, they recommend radiation. And she told the doctor that she was not going to do radiation because she saw what radiation did to her family, and they all died anyway. Because, the radiation, in my opinion, kills you faster than the disease. Because when you do radiation, the radiation is killing off your cells. It's not only killing off the bad cancer cells, it's killing off the good cells as well. And this is what kills people. That's what they don't tell you, that the radiation kills off all of your good cells. So she said, no, I'm not going to do that. And when 6 months came along, she was fine. She didn't die, and she called the doctor and said, I'm here. I would like to make an appointment to see you. So what happened within those 6 months? She changed her diet. It was as simple as that, to a plant-based diet. And throughout the whole documentary, this eating yourself, eating you alive, it was about people who changed their way of life. This is basically what this documentary was about. People who changed their lifestyle, their eating lifestyle, and switched to a plant based diet. And just miraculously, everything changed. The numbers, the triglyceride numbers, their diabetes, they went from the very high numbers to very low. Their blood pressure went down. it, those are great stories. I mean, I could have sat there. The documentary was about 2 hours, and I could have just sat there for another 2 hours listening to those stories, because those stories, they were so inspirational. And I think that everybody in America should see this documentary, because I was able to take some statistics in my pocketbook as I'm sitting there, because when you turn on your phone, the light is so bright sitting in the theater. But I wrote down some statistics, which was just unbelievable. According to the statistics in this documentary, 68.6 Americans are obese. I mean, this is a very, very, very high number. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Marvin, Cheryl, Trevor. Yes, it was just a one-time showing, and at the end of the documentary, they had a question and answer, a session, and it's just a one-time thing. I hope they would do it. I mean, I wish that everyone in America would see this movie. I mean, if everyone in America would see this movie, and if they would advertise this movie as they advertise all of their other entertainment flicks, I think the dairy business and the meat business would just totally go out of business in 24 hours because people would, their eyes would be open and they would say, oh my God, if I go to a plant based diet, I could save my life. I'm not going to die. I'm not going to be walking around with a cane. I'm not going to have aches and pains. I'm not going to get cancer. I'm not going to have diabetes. I'm not going to have high blood pressure. I'm not going to have cardiovascular diseases. I think in 24 hours, the meat industry would go out of business. You know, we were not made to suffer. This is what people don't understand. If you live a certain lifestyle, you're not going to suffer. And we were not made to suffer. Our Creator did not put us here to suffer. We are put here to live happy, vibrant lives. So, anyway, let me go on. 68.6 Americans are obese. That's a very, very high number. Okay. 2.5 million Americans have lupus because there was a doctor there who was giving her story about having lupus and suffering since she was a child with allergies, etc. And now she's a healthy woman. I mean, she was another one who the doctor also gave her some months to live, and she gave the story about meeting this wonderful guy, and they fell in love, and she was very apprehensive about telling her that, you know, look at what is going on with her and look at what her diagnosis was. But then he told her that he would rather live a short life with her than a long life with someone else. It was very romantic, you know. So then 106,000 people die from pharmaceutical drugs in America. Imagine that every year. 106,000 people die every year from pharmaceutical drugs. Isn't that just, it's just evil what they do. And every time you turn on your TV, it's just some drug that they're advertising. It's amazing. 315 billion dollars is the cost of stroke and heart attack. 315 billion dollars spent every year on stroke and heart attacks. Could you believe that? Because it can cost you roughly, I mean, if you stay in the hospital for about a week, because I know from my relative, it can cost you about $30,000 for a week stay in the hospital after a stroke. And you have to pay part of that cost. You have to pay part of that cost. I mean, we need to think about these things. We don't have to get sick. You could spend the money to do something else. You could take that money and travel the world and experience another culture and have fun and lay out on the beach for the summer. You can take that money instead of laying down in the hospital bed, lay down on the beach somewhere. You know, go to the south of France, go to the Caribbean and have fun and experience another culture. Why are we not living life and being vital and have vitality instead of walking around half dead? We don't have to be that way. All right? And get this one, 52% of men have ED. ED as in erectile dysfunction, folks. Erectile dysfunction. 52%. This is a high number. It's more than half. So you see these men walking around and they cannot get it up. Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad? Think about the women. Think about the women, guys. And the women too are walking around and they're embarrassed and they're unhappy. Yeah, I know the cause because I know what this family member of mine, I know what she paid, and I know what the insurance company was willing to pay. I mean, insurance should be free in this country, the greatest country in the world, but they're busy fighting wars instead of taking care of their people. They're busy fighting wars. I mean, even very poor countries, you don't have to pay insurance for your health care. Yeah, they're eating a lot of meat. I see them. I see them every day. I see them on the train. I see them when I walk down the street. They have this big tummy. How could you even lay down in bed and make love to your wife with this big old tummy? I mean, get rid of those tummies, guys. Get rid of those tummies. It's not attractive. And as soon as you get rid of those tummies and you start on a plant based diet, you're going to drop 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds, depending on how big you are, and you're going to feel good. 1.4 million diagnosed with diabetes. 1.4 million diagnosed with diabetes every year. So, yesterday I drank water and some tea, and that was about it. So, I think I did very good yesterday in terms of the goals that I set for myself. Okay. What I set for myself was to just do a water fast. But as you know, I had the strawberries. I think it was Tuesday night or Monday night. I think it was Tuesday. Today's Friday. The week is going pretty fast, by the way. It's going pretty fast. So I have today and Friday. I mean, today's Friday. I have today, Saturday, and then it's done because I think I'm gonna do this for a week. Because when I fast, I lose probably about a, I don't know, maybe 5 pounds or so. What's going on here? Something is going on here. Show hide what? Okay. Yeah. Um. Make a sunshine. I've been that one in that hospital bed and that. I'm okay. Okay. So what happened with you, Mecca Sunshine? Did you had a stroke? I'm sorry to hear that. So I'm glad that you're trying to turn around the situation. And based on this documentary, I mean, it's not a miracle. I mean, it's just practical things that you do. You just change your eating habits. But to see what people, how they were, you see the before and you see the after, and it's amazing. Hey, Suan Song, good to see you. Yeah, and Samuel Jackson, the actor, he was featured in the documentary as well, and he gave the story that he was on this plant-based diet because he does a lot of these Capital One commercials, and in the documentary, he did look a bit heavy. He looked a lot heavier, much heavier. So he was in the middle of doing a movie, or he was asked to do a movie, I think, and he was on this plant-based diet at the time. And his agent called him and he told him that the director wanted to speak to him or something like that. I'm just paraphrasing, and it's from my memory from last night. And he told him that he needed to put on some weight for the movie. And you hear of these stories with these actors and actresses that they need to put on weight to do a particular role. So he started eating, going back to eating the meat and the steaks and the pork and whatever, the potatoes, a lot of pasta to put on weight. So, oh, you had blood clots in your lung. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, all of this could be turned around. All of this could be turned around, unless it's a congenital issue, something genetic or something like that. But if it's from eating, any kind of disease, most diseases from eating, constipation and mucus. Constipation and mucus. You get rid of the constipation, you eat a certain way so you don't have a lot of mucus, you're not going to have diseases. It's as simple as that. But they don't want to tell you that because it's too simple and there is no money in it. Nobody makes money from telling you to drink lime water and lemon water, to tell you to go to a plant based. Nobody makes money from that. All right? So anyhow, he started putting on this weight and he said he started feeling terrible from eating that way. And he knows how he felt when he was on the plant base, and he knows how he started feeling after he started going back to eating meat and all these other bad foods because he needed to put on weight for this movie role. So this was basically his story. So he said he's gonna try to get back to the plant-based diet because it made him feel better and he looked better. Because last night in that documentary, he looked really really chubby. I mean, I don't know when this happened, but I looked at him in the documentary and he looks very big and chubby, and I know how he looks in those Capital One bank commercials. He looks very skinny, very skinny. So if you're concerned about weight, and everybody is concerned about weight, everybody wants to lose weight, everybody wants to lose weight. Well, the surefire way to lose weight is to switch to a plant-based diet. Switch to a plant-based diet. Stop eating the meat. Stop eating meat. Stop eating the eggs and the dairy products, the milk and whatever, and you're gonna lose the weight. It's as simple as that. Then again, maybe it's not so simple for some people because these foods are very addictive. They're very, very addictive. And I mean, the women, you guys, you have to tell your men, if I just gave you the statistics. 52% of men in America have erectile dysfunction. So it affects you, the women. So you have to encourage your men to go on this plant-based diet. Do you take the herbs? If you do, well, would you recommend me to look up and research for herbs? What herbs specifically are you talking about? I'm not an herbalist, and a lot of things that I might recommend is not on Dr. Sebi's list, but I could give you some herbs. I could give you suggestion in terms of cleansers, things that you could use to cleanse while you are fasting, because the whole point of fasting is to remove toxins and obstructions and to go to the bathroom. When you are fasting, one piece of advice that I have is that when you are fasting, you have to go to the bathroom. A lot of people, they fast, but because they're not eating, they cannot go to the bathroom. But there is stuff in there because you were eating a day before, 2 days before, a week before, two, and depending on how many times you go to the bathroom, ideally you should go to the bathroom every time you eat. If you eat 3 times a day, you should go to the bathroom every time you eat. But that never happens. Some people don't go to the bathroom, I don't know, once a month, once every 2 weeks. So if you're eating and you're not going to the bathroom, where is all of that stuff? I mean, it has to come out. So everybody's situation is different, and you have to understand your situation. All I can say is generally, you need to go to the bathroom when you're fasting because you have stuff in there from eating before. And this is the whole point of fasting, to give your body a break, to slow down, and to remove toxins. So you have to go to the bathroom. So there are certain herbs that you can take. There are certain protocols that you can use, that you go to the bathroom while you're fasting, especially the first day, the first 3 days or so, you need to be going to the bathroom and get rid of that stuff. And if push come to shove and you really cannot maybe get certain herbs, or you cannot afford for some reason, your alternative is to eat fruits. Fruits is mostly water. So the fruits will push that stuff out. It would push it out, and then you drink the lemon water, because that acidity in the lemon, it would help also to dissolve a lot of these things in your body, in your intestines, and push that thing out. Okay? So you can go and online and do research. I mean, Dr. Sebi has certain products that would help you to do that with I don't want to say laxatives, but cleansers. So what was I saying? I was giving the story about Samuel Jackson. I think I'm finished with that story. But I just wish this movie was a 1 day showing, only 1 day, but it was all over the United States, the 50 states, 1 day in selected theaters, as they say. But I think they said that it should be out on DVD in about a month. But if it was all over the United States in selected theaters, I think it's a lot of people might have seen it, and I hope they spread the word and each one teach one. But I just wish that everyone in the United States, all 350 million of us, would see this movie and put the dairy and the meat industry out of business, because this is what is killing people. And they show, they had scenes of the animals in the CAFOs. CAFO, it's an acronym for Concentrated Animal Feeding Operations. And it's very distressing, very painful how they treat these animals. You know that we are connected to everything. We are connected to everything. Everything in nature is connected. And you know that you're connected to the animals. These animals are sentient beings. They can feel, they have feelings just like us. How would we like to be treated like this, the way they treat these animals? They beat them, they abuse them, they have them standing next to each other, chained together in these concentrated animal feeding operations. They push them, they shove them, they beat them. They have them in these holding areas, like like the slaves on the ships, packed like sardines, and shitting and pissing on top of each other. And this is the meat you eat. When you watch that, it is so heartbreaking. That's how you know that you're connected to these animals, that we are not separated. We are all connected, because you feel for them. You feel for them. It's like if you see someone abusing a dog on the street, you feel for the dog. You feel for the dog. It's the same way you feel. We don't see these things. People are so protective. This is the thing I don't understand. People are so protective of their cats and their dogs, right? Why aren't they screaming bloody murder about what they do to these cows and the pigs in these concentrated animal feeding operations? Because they don't see it. We don't see these things. It's somewhere out, somewhere, I don't know, out in the wilderness, where they have these plants, where they manufacture these meats to bring it to you in the supermarket. I don't understand how anyone can eat a pig. They're smarter than the family dog. Yes, and some people have pigs as pets, and I heard that they're very smart animals. I mean, it is so heartbreaking. You see the animals are stumbling, stumbling, they cannot stand up, and they pushing them and they beating them. It's just, and when you eat that meat, what do you think you're eating? You're eating an animal that was mistreated, an animal that is fully aware of the mistreatment, an animal that is sad and depressed and angry, just like you would get sad and depressed and angry if you were treated this way. We really need to think about this. And I think if more people saw this documentary and heard the stories, I think these people and their filthy business would go out of business within 24 hours. It would all disappear because people would just stop eating meat and drinking milk, because all milk does is create mucus in your body, right? One of the doctors was they were talking about that. I mean, the most powerful animal on earth and the strongest animal on earth, the elephant. What does the elephant eat? The elephant does not eat meat. Why is the elephant so strong? The elephant is strong from eating plants. The cow itself, or herself, or himself, what do they eat? They eat grass. They eat grass. Okay? They don't eat meat. They eat grass. And this is why they are strong and big and muscular from eating grass. So this is simple common sense. This is simple common sense. All you get from milk is mucus in your body. The milk is for the young of the species. So the mother nurses her young, the young baby, with the milk, right? You cannot take a mother's milk, a human milk, and give it to a calf. The calf is going to get sick. If you take the milk from the cow, the milk from the cow is for the young calf. If you take that milk and give it to a human, you're going to get sick, which we do get sick from drinking this milk. The grass and the plant food is what the cow eats to get as strong as they are and to produce the milk for their young, not for us. Not for us. So we shouldn't be drinking that milk. I would just love for everyone, when the DVD comes out, you guys should look for it. You should search for it. And I'm going to put a link of there is a link apparently where you get notifications for events like that. It's called fathomevents.com. I'm going to put the link for this, and also the movie eatingyoualive.org or .com. I have to look it up. Yeah, I should look it up now. Eating You Alive. Eating You Alive. And I hope they put a book together as well with these stories. Eating You Alive. Let me see. Yeah, I think it's already here. They already put it up, I think. Because I got there late. I got there about 15 minutes late, so I did not see the beginning of the movie. So if you go online and you put in eatingyouralive.com, there is a video there online on the website. So it's probably up already. So you guys can watch it online right now. I mean, I'm watching it right now. So it's there. Yeah, you guys should watch this right now. It's there. Yeah, it's there. Or if it's just excerpts from it, I don't know. But yeah, it's there. So you guys can watch it. Yeah, you guys can watch it. Yeah, Nancy, those figures are unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, 68.6 obese in America. That is not good. I mean, these people, they're losing time at work, right? They're not leading vibrant lives. These people who have children, they cannot function properly with their children. They cannot play with them. They cannot run around with them. They cannot have fun with them. They probably don't want to travel with them because of that situation. Um, I'm sure there are situations where their children have to do extra work at home in helping out because maybe the parents are always tired. They cannot do certain things. So it's a burden on their children. They're bringing up children that are probably angry with them, probably embarrassed by them, because one of the women in the documentary, she brought that point up. You know, sneaking around with food, hiding food. You know, there are a lot of things that go on with people who are obese. A lot of things go on. A lot of secrecy, then a lot of anger, a lot of guilt. And, you know, think of what that does to a family. The secrets, the lying, the hiding. You know, and then your family's getting upset with you and getting angry with you. I mean, this could separate family and cause a lot of distress. Yeah, I mean, and this whole thing with the erectile dysfunction. I mean, I'm sure this is causing a lot of divorces. You know, but you know, we all live in our little spaces and we don't know what's going on with our neighbors. I mean, there are so many people are walking around unhappy nowadays. I mean, this is another thing that I took from this is that there are a lot of unhappy people around. A lot of unhappy people. You cannot be happy if you don't feel energetic, if you're not flexible, if you're feeling sick all the time, if you're always in some kind of pain, if you're hiding things from your family and your friends, you cannot be happy. You cannot be contented if you feel guilty about something, if you feel embarrassed about something. And all of these things, the obesity and the erectile dysfunction, these are all diseases or symptoms. They are symptoms of an underlying problem. They're not diseases, they're symptoms. And once you take care of the symptom, then everything will be fine. So that's it, guys. That's about it for today. Um, I don't know what else I can say. that movie is on, if that movie documentary is online, I think I want to watch it again. I think I want to watch it again, and I really encourage you guys to see this movie. And as far as my fasting, as I was saying, I think I'm only gonna do a week. 2 years ago, I mean, time flies. Yeah, it was 2016 when I fasted for 3 weeks, and this was when I lost a lot of weight. I don't have a scale. I don't weigh myself. I'm not into weighing myself, but all I have to do to know that I lost weight is I just with my clothes. I know how my clothes fit, how one thing used to fit, and then now it's fitting differently. So I know from that. So I don't have any scales or anything, but I lost a lot of weight. It's not that I was never chubby or fat or anything like that, but I lost a lot of weight. So now I don't want to do 2 weeks of fasting to lose any more weight because I'm right now I'm on the skinny side. So um, when I fast for a week, I lose at least 5 to 7 pounds when I fast for a week. So I don't need to do that, and I mean, there aren't a lot of toxins in my body and stuff because of the way I eat. And even I was thinking about this today. I mean, when you think of how I was brought up and the various things that I was given as a child, even finding out that this Canadian healing oil had turpentine in it, and this was something that we were given regularly. Um, we were also given a lot of what my mother used to call washing out. Before you started school in September, you had to get your washing out, or you had to take a laxative, and we were given castor oil. Castor oil is something Dr. Jennifer Daniels was also saying that is taken with the turpentine and castor oil, and I cannot imagine that because it it's just terrible tasting. So I cannot imagine. I mean, this is why they gave you with the sugar to just mitigate the taste of the Canadian healing oil or the turpentine. So I cannot imagine taking castor oil with turpentine because it was just awful. So we used to get our castor oil before we go back to school. You had to do that, and I remember my mother used to give it to me with coffee, and I'm like, what is this combination? It was awful because I didn't want to take it by itself because you cannot keep it down. It's just hard. It was just so nasty. Oh my God. So, I was given that. I was given the Kerala bush, the bitter melon bush, the bush part of it, which I spoke about when I was doing one of my videos. So I was given a lot of things as a child and during my teenage years. So um, I don't think, and even the way that I eat now, and the fact that I eat once a day, I don't eat a lot. And what I eat, you know, so I don't want to push this to 2 weeks because I don't need to do it for 2 weeks. I mean, I think people who are really toxic and really sick, I think maybe they could push it to 1 week. Or you could do 1 week and then in another 3 or 4 months, you can do another week. Don't wait until next year to do it. I try to do a fast every spring. But if you're really toxic, you could do a week. I'm not saying you do 2 weeks consecutively. You can do a week and then you wait and then you do another week in about 3 months because you have a lot of obstruction and a lot of crap to remove from your system. But personally, I don't think I need to do this for more than a week now, especially since I've really changed my lifestyle and I'm doing the plant based, and I'm eating once a day. So I'm fasting, really. When you think about it, I am fasting. I'm fasting for many, many, many hours. And then I eat, and then I fast again for many, many, many hours, and then I eat again. So this is why I'm going to end this tomorrow, Saturday. And when you fast, you don't just go back to eating. Um, Hello, Mr. Marco. Welcome. Nice to see you here. Um, Lost weight along with that big belly fat that males have over 30. Yeah, yeah. Your body is a masterpiece. Just remember that. It's a masterpiece. You only have one life, one body on this realm anyway. One life, one body. You need to take care of your body. And again, I keep asking that question. Ask yourself this question: do I love meat more than I love myself? Do I love this quarter pounder crap at McDonald's or Burger King or whatever? Do I love this more than I love myself? Do I want to be in pain every day instead of walking around and feeling good about life and feeling good about myself? Because when you're in pain, that's all you think about. You cannot think about anything else, and you're not happy. Pain does not make one happy. So please try to live a good life, a vital life. Try to live the life that you were put on this earth to live. And the only way you can do that is if you have 100% health, feeling good, feeling strong, feeling energetic. All right? So, yes, this is what I'm getting to. What food you should. Yes, so I'm saying because I'm going to stop this fast Saturday evening, on Sunday, I'm not just going to just start chugging down food. It doesn't work that way. You have to gradually. So you do like a consomme. You do like a consomme, or you steam some veggies, or some rice, some wild rice, and you eat that. Or you eat some, not fruit. You don't want to do fruit. You want to do like a little consomme. And I did that in one of my videos, or that dandelion soup that I made. So you do the dandelion soup, but you only eat the broth from the soup. So you try to eat a lot of broth. So you're still taking in liquids, but it has more nutrients. So this is basically what you do. So you do that for the first 2 days. So in a sense, you're still fasting. So after Saturday, I still would have about 3 more days before I really go into like solid food and eat my quinoa and some avocado with some romaine lettuce. You know. So after the fast, you still have to go slowly, right? John Hill, not hungry? Yes, you do get hungry. And when you get hungry, you drink some water. Or you drink, if you're doing the lemonade, the lemonade with the maple syrup and the cayenne pepper, you drink some lemonade and you feel fine. And again, it's about self-control. You know why you are fasting. You are fasting for a reason. And that reason should motivate you, and ignore your hunger. I mean, do something that would distract you. You have to we have to create ways to function during the fast. I mean, I'm very busy. I'm homeschooling my daughter, so I'm involved in that. So I'm not thinking about food. You can turn off the TV if when you see those commercials about food while you're watching TV. If that is distracting, then don't watch TV. You know, um, people who work outside the home, that might be a bit challenging. But again, I mean, if you're working and you're at your desk and you're doing your work, you're not really thinking about food. I mean, maybe you are, but then you have your lemonade drink, or you drink some water, or if I don't know, if you really cannot do it again, you eat the fruits, especially if it's your first time. There's nothing wrong with eating some fruits. For the texture, maybe you need to bite into something. Maybe that would help. So you have some strawberries, like I did the other day. I ate a whole packet of strawberries like that. Because you want to feel some texture, you want to bite down on something, and you want to swallow something that is solid, but it's not really, you know, it's not eating a banana, or not a banana, like, I don't know, eating something that we consider solid food that you shouldn't be eating when you're fasting. That's what I mean. I'm fasting to give my body a break and to remove whatever toxins that I breathe, that I ate. Because even if you're eating organic or trying your best to differentiate and to be, um, what's the word not coming to me right now? You're trying your best to eat right. The environment is so contaminated now that those of us who are really trying our best to avoid contaminants, it's floating around in the air, it's in the soil, it's in the water, it's everywhere. So it's very difficult. So every once in a while you need to slow down, and you need to give your body a break, and you need to take your herbs and laxatives and whatever and get rid of that stuff from your body. So that's why I'm fasting, and I do it every year during the spring. But I don't need to do it for more than a week, because then I might look like those people in the Holocaust. I hope I don't get into trouble for using that word, because some people have co-opted that word and they don't want anybody else to use it, but I'm using it. I mean, if I do this for more than a week, I'm going to end up looking not, I don't feel weak or anything. I exercise every day. I do a lot. I run around, with my daughter for gymnastics. I clean the house. I cook. I'm not weak. I don't feel terrible. The only thing is that I always feel drowsy for some reason. Like right now, I'm starting to feel drowsy. Um, I feel drowsy. I mean, this is my side effect from fasting. I feel very drowsy. I feel more drowsy than hungry, honestly. I feel more drowsy than hungry. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Everybody's different. When I do about a week fast, I lose between 5 and 7 pounds when I do a week fast. So I don't need to lose any weight. I'm already skinny. I don't need to lose any more weight. And I'm already just eating once a day. I've started doing this now for a long time, for about a year now. So I don't need to I don't need to lose any more weight, you know. Right now I need to build some muscle. That's what I need to do. So that's about it, guys. So I hope you guys try to do the fast. It's very healing, and no, I became a vegan. I don't know, 2 years ago. I don't know. Time flies. 3 years ago, coming on 3 years now. No, I tried doing it for many, many years, and I always went back. You know, always went back to my old ways. I mean, I remember one time I even said that there is no way that I would stop eating meat. I cannot believe that I said this now when I look back. Um, but it's a journey, and sometimes it takes a long time to get to where I am right now. So this is why I keep saying, um, don't be too hard on yourself. I mean, even with the fasting, if you decide that you were going to fast and you fasted for 24 hours and you feel like, oh my God, I cannot do this, especially if it's the first time, then you make a decision. The decision would be you have two choices. Do I just not do this and try another time? Or am I going to maybe eat something light, have some fruits, or have some consomme, have a soup, and then I'm going to try again the next day? You see? So you have two choices. Am I going to end this fast and do it another time, maybe within the next month or 2 or 3, I would start again? Or I want to do this. I really, really want to do this. So I'm going to maybe, I'm really, really hungry and I don't think I could do this. So I eat like a light soup, or I eat some fruits, and then I start doing again the next day. You have to negotiate with yourself and your mind and your thoughts. Negotiate and see what happens. Live well light. Hello, welcome. Good to see you. Hi, glad it's going well. I'm doing my Sebi herbs and fruits and soups. Had a big salad fast. Right. Yeah, yeah, you have to do the intermittent thing. And again, we are not all the same. We are not all built the same. And you know, I'm hard on myself. It's like when I ate those strawberries, I was, I mean, I enjoyed having them, but after I had them, I was so mad with myself for doing that because I had made a commitment to just do the water. And I was fine for 2 days just drinking water. But then I did that. So I am very hard on myself. And this is why, yesterday it was all water. Today it's going to be all water again because I don't want to feel guilty for not living up to my own standards and living up to the goals that I set for myself. So I would rather just go through whatever I need to go through than feeling all this guilt and beating up on myself. And I get up in the morning and I'm thinking, oh my God, I ate strawberries. Oh my God, and feeling bad about it. I don't want to do that. But, again, it's everybody's different. It's up to you. You know who you are, and you have to deal with yourself and live with yourself. So you make decisions based on that, your values and everything like that. So, I am saying in general, don't be hard on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. You know, there is always an opportunity to do better the next time. And you learn. It's a learning experience. If you have never fasted before and you start doing it, you would learn, and you would learn what works for you and what doesn't work. But the ideal situation when we are talking about fasting is to not eat any food. Okay, is to not eat any food. That is what the ideal is, but it might take you many years to get to the ideal. You understand what I'm saying? It might take you many years. So don't be hard on yourself. It took me many years. Okay, I have been fasting off and on now for about 8 years. So it took me all of this time to get to the point where I am doing the plant based and I'm eating once a day. I didn't just get up like this and say, oh, I'm going to go on plant based and I'm going to eat once a day. No, it takes a long time because we have to get over bad habits. And it takes many years to get over bad habits. I know when you think about it, exactly 40 days, exactly. Yeah, you know, you do what works. Yep, Mr. Marco. Yeah, this is gonna give you ED. This is gonna give you ED, my dear. 52%. And you don't want to be part of that statistics. And the great thing about it is that it can all be reversed. Yes, protein. Nobody knows what protein is. They were talking about this in the documentary last night. You don't need protein. This was an erroneous thing that science came up with because we are made a certain way that we need meat. No, you get protein. Protein is also in the plants. Yeah. And remember that your body is a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece and it bounces right back. And within days, in some cases, within days, if you start eating a certain way and you switch, you would see improvement, you would see results within days, not months, not years, within days in some cases. So I don't understand, why people would just, I don't know. Sometimes I think that people enjoy just sitting around talking about their aches and pains. I think people enjoy that, and I think some people they like the attention. I don't know if you know of this thing called Munchausen by proxy, where there are mothers who deliberately make their children sick so they could get attention. Um, there is a book about that, and I heard a lady recently talking on a radio show about this. But some people, they would get sick just to get attention, you know. So there's all of that. So I don't understand why people would just want to be sick and not feel good and feel strong and feel powerful. I don't understand it. Bell Tips, hi, welcome. How are you? I'm back. Tried to enter yesterday. Wasn't even feeling good. Fasting is hard, I must say. Yeah, it's challenging. I don't like that word hard. I say challenging instead. I try to cancel that word from my vocabulary. Nothing is hard. Everything is easy once you understand the technique of it. Once you understand how to do it, then it's not hard. It's only hard when you don't understand. Okay? So it might be challenging in the beginning, but then once you understand it or you adjust and you get used to it, it's about adjusting. You have to adjust to a different lifestyle. You have to adjust to a different way of eating. And then once you adjust, then everything is going to be fine. Old habits are hard to break, right? And bad habits are hard to break. Both of them are hard to break. So once you develop good habits, it's going to be the same like when you had those bad habits. It's going to be hard to break as well. Mhm. Yeah, it's challenging. I mean, like I said, I've been doing this now for a long time, off and on. And even right now, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older. I did that 3 week fast. I don't know, when I think about it, I must have been nuts or something. Um, the thought of fasting for 3 weeks, I cannot even think about it right now. I don't even know how I did that. I don't even know how I did that. Those 3 weeks. I cannot think about it right now. I guess it depends on um, what's going on at the time. You know, I'm 3 years older, 2 years older. The weather has been crazy. The weather is crazy, and then that pulsing of the EMRs around us. This is something I told you guys yesterday that you need to think about. With your cell phones, always have your cell phones on. Turn it off at night. Try to turn it off. Um, a lot of people have their cell phones right next to the bed. This is not good. I mean, think about it. How do you think that you can talk to somebody from New York to London or Chicago to London with just this little device? There are no wires, no cables, no connection. How do you think this is happening? It's energy, radiation. And what do they give? What do they treat you with when you have cancer to kill your cells? Radiation, right? So we have to think about those gadgets and those devices that we have around us. So a lot of times when we feel lethargic, we feel tired, we feel, aches and pains, because those these energy fields, it's affecting us. It's affecting us. So what I'm saying is that it's been 2 years since I did that fast. Almost 2 years. It was August of 2016. This was before Sebi died, because I remember for the last 2 days of the fast, I was traveling to St. Croix, and I was in transit at the Miami International Airport, and this was when I heard the news of Dr. Sebi's death. And I remember I was devastated. I had to sit down. I had to sit down. I hadn't eaten in almost 3 weeks, and I was on the airport, and I heard the news, and I had to sit down. I remember this was August. I think it was 10th, August 10th or something, 2016, that he died. So it's almost 2 years since I did that 3 week fast. And, so, things change, life change, you change. And I think there's so much going on, in the environment I mean, the idea of fasting for 3 weeks, I cannot think about it right now. Now, next year, I don't know what's going to happen next year this time. I may say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm up for this. Oh yeah, I'm going to do it." But just the idea right now, like going on for another week and then another week, it's like, it's unfathomable to me. I can't, it's just, no, no way could I do that. No way could I do that. Yeah, because the other day when I went to the doctor's office to do this MRI, you're not supposed to have these devices around these areas where they do the MRIs in the hospitals and these places. And when we walked in to the room, it wasn't the room where they do the MRI, but it was in the waiting area before you go into the room to do the MRI. It clearly states no food, no phone. No food, no cell phone. I turned off my cell phone because I'm in the habit now of turning off my cell phone or putting it on airplane mode. But there was this lady in there on her phone, and was sitting next to her in the waiting room, and her daughter as well was on her phone playing whatever dumb, stupid game. And I was sitting there, and after a while, I started to feel, because the other thing I notice when I'm fasting, I'm overly sensitive. I'm super, super sensitive to everything. And my ear started pulsating, and I knew it. I knew it that this is what it was. And I was looking around outside to see if I saw any cell towers. And I think I noticed one. And I knew that this thing was coming in through the window to this woman using her cell phone, and it was affecting me. And I told the guy who came out to ask my daughter some questions before she went in for the MRI, and I said, what's going on in here? You guys don't enforce the rules. It says right here, no cell phones, no food. What is going on? He said, oh, I only work here. And I thought, oh yeah, there you go. To myself, everybody's afraid of something. Nobody wants to enforce the rules. Nobody wants to say anything to anybody because they don't want to lose their jobs. So he said, you can go and sit in the room. So there was another room out, away from the waiting area there. And my daughter and I went into that room, and you wouldn't believe that within 5 minutes, that sensation, that pulsating thing, it was gone, because I moved away from the window and went into a room. So I know that these things affect us, but if we get too accustomed to it and we're not paying attention, then the thing is, we are getting accustomed to these things, and we shouldn't be getting accustomed to it. You know why we shouldn't be getting accustomed to it? Because it is damaging our DNA. It is damaging our DNA, and we shouldn't get accustomed to it. We shouldn't get accustomed to it. But now we are so busy, we are not sensitive enough, I guess, because of all of the crap that we're ingesting. Because I do notice that every time I fast, I am highly, highly sensitive. I'm not only highly sensitive to everything that's going on around me, my memory gets better too. My memory gets better. I remember a lot more when I'm fasting. Yeah, that 5G thing. Yeah, there's a lot of anti EMF stuff. I have to look into that. Yeah. Yeah, but you guys could do some things, at night you switch off the Wi-Fi and all these things, you just switch things off and turn it off because you don't want to be subjected to this while you're sleeping. Yeah, that's good. You did some videos on it. That's good. People need to be informed about these things because it's slowly killing us, slowly dumbing us down, slowly messing up our endocrine system, our hormones, our DNA. My daughter is texting me. I would love to turn this off, but the thing is, when you have children out there, you always want the phone on to just in case, I'm a just in case person. I am a just in case person. Oh, just in case, let's do this, let's do that, just in case. So, yeah, sure. I would love if you do that. Live light well, lady. Thank you so much. You can put those links in the comments. So today I have another long day today because I have to run around with my daughter for gymnastics. So and tomorrow would be my last live feed. No, I don't feel any stress. I don't feel any stress at all, and I don't. Um, I just it's like last weekend I was planning on doing a live streaming on my Patreon channel, and my webcam wasn't working. Things just weren't going. You know, going very well, and I didn't go crazy about it. I would go crazy for a minute, and then I stop myself, and I always say, and this too shall pass. I repeat it over and over, and this too shall pass, and this too shall pass, and this too shall pass. And I always say, anything that is happening for a reason. And once I do that, I just calm down, and I just, you try to fix the situation, and you move on with your life. I don't stress. I don't stress. No, I don't do that. And as far as during the fast, if this is what you're asking, during the fast, no. I'm too calm, and this is the thing. I feel very calm and mellow and calm when I'm fasting. Very mellow. I don't know, I guess this is what it's like to feel, it's like a natural high. Because somebody the other day said that I look high. I look like I'm high. I'm not taking marijuana or any kind of drugs that would make you high, whatever that is, unless water is the thing. It's some mellowness. I mean, I guess when you smoke marijuana, that's how you feel, mellow. Yeah, I'm very mellow. I mean, I don't have the energy. I don't have the energy to be stressed and to get angry or upset or anything like that. I mean, I think it takes a lot of energy to get angry, and anger is something that takes a lot of energy, and it produces a lot of energy. So I don't have the energy. Yeah, there is a book, and this too shall pass, from back in the day. It was a very popular book some years ago, and this too shall pass. And it does, whatever it is. My mother used to say when things happened that it wasn't so pleasant, she used to say, oh, give it 9 days, 9 days, because, people have to move on to other things. I mean, if it's a situation where something happens in your family that maybe it's embarrassing, or and people are talking about it, and you say, oh, and this too shall pass, give it 9 days, because people have to move on to their own troubles and their own problems, and they're going to forget about you in 9 days. And in New York, it's even less. It's even less in New York, less than 9 days, because people have so many problems. I didn't have anything. I had no illness. I had no illness. It was um, just decided that I didn't want to eat meat anymore and wanted to do plant based, vegan. But vegan, like one of the doctors was pointing out last night, which was a very good point. Vegan and plant based are two different things, because there are a lot of people who are vegans who are very sick, very ill, and you could be a vegan and eating cookies all day, cookies made from almond milk or whatever milk, Brazil nut milk. It's not animal based. It's vegan, but it's not plant based. So you can get obese and get high blood pressure and get all kinds of stuff from being a vegan. There's a difference. It's plant based. So I also yeah, eating you alive. Yes, it's on Facebook and Instagram. Yes, I think they said that. Belted. Why not 10 days? Yes, I could push it 10 days. Yeah, but I'll see. I'll see. I'm not feeling that right now, but I could push it for 10 days. Yeah. So they were saying plant based is not necessarily. There are vegans who eat a lot of junk. Let's face it. They eat a lot of junk, and they think that because they're not eating meat, or they're not eating dairy, that from the cows, that it's okay. But then they overeat. It's the overeating that causes that. The overeating. So if you overeat, you're gonna be obese. You might get high blood pressure, especially if you're eating the stuff that you're not cooking yourself. You see, this is the thing. I don't eat anything out there. Everything that I eat, it's cooked at home. I mean, when I travel with my daughter for gymnastics, I mean, you should see the big bags and the thermoses and all the stuff with the food, and people laugh at me, but I don't care about that. Everything that I eat, it's always homemade, and I made it myself, and I know what's in it. But if you're not a cook, which a lot of people apparently don't cook, and I don't understand it, it's for me, it's something basic. I learned this since I was a child, standing next to my mother in the kitchen. I always watched and learned, and, as a girl, and I don't think there's anything wrong. I know that there are a lot of feminists now talking about, oh, well, no, I'm not doing that. And no, it's domestic work and it's beneath me and whatnot. Well, I don't know about that. I wasn't brought up like that, you know. Um, It's a good skill to know. It's amazing the things that people don't know. So um, a lot of people don't cook. I was amazed by that. I assumed that everybody cooked, and a lot of people don't cook. Or they will have a live question and answer on Sunday night. Great. I don't know the last time I've been sick. I don't know. I cannot remember the last time I've been sick. I don't get sick. I don't get sick. I mean, I don't even get colds anymore. I mean, I think I had some sniffles or something the other day, but it didn't last long. I think I said this in the video. I think, yeah. And my kids, they were coming down with a cold, and when I gave them the bitter melon drink, it just went away in two days. It was all dried up. So even if I get a cold, I know what to do, and then once I do it, it's gone. In 2 days, it's gone. But it depends on what you mean by sick, you know. Sick for me is getting some sniffles or getting a slight fever for some reason, getting a cold, and I don't let these things hang around on me for too long. I get rid of it within a day or two. Mm. Are you talking about the plantain pancakes, Trevor? Yeah, I mean, I think women are being brainwashed. And the funny thing is, you have these women, they have these beautiful homes with their beautiful kitchens, and they don't cook. They go to McDonald's. I mean, how low is that? I mean, how crazy is that? I mean, what are you doing? You're not cooking for your family? That's like the highest thing that you can do for your family. It's the highest thing that you can do for your family. It's not anything low. It's high. To prepare a meal for your family to enjoy is one of the highest things that a woman can do for her family and her man. And that is why a lot of these men get up and leave because the women don't know how to cook. Yeah, that plantain pancakes. I always say I think it was some, I don't know, some energy force gave me that idea because I don't know, this idea came to me one day with the for the plantain pancakes, and I get a lot of grief about that too, about those plantain pancakes, and it's one of my highest viewed. I think it's over 110,000 views now on those plantain pancakes. Yeah, it is an art. It's an art and a science. Art and a science. It's not anything to be ashamed of. Yeah, thank you. I didn't realize, the idea popped into my head, but this is what happens when you meditate and you're calm and you get rid of your cell phones and you keep quiet. Ideas come to you, and ideas come to you, and solutions come to you. If you having an issue that you need to resolve, or you having some kind of problem, and you go in a quiet place, you choose somewhere in your home, or you go to the park, or you go for a walk very quietly without any disturbance, you might solve the problem, and ideas come to you. Oh my God. Thank you for saying that. You know, this is what I say. The people who criticize this whole plantain pancake thing, they don't eat right. They don't eat 100% right, that is for sure. Is it true that boiling your cereals, quinoa, is going to transform it in acidic meal? I've never heard of that. I'm gonna have to look into that. Well, this is something you cannot eat it raw, so you have to cook it. So I don't understand, you know. I mean, and this is something I've been thinking about. I'll see what I do this spring. I'm trying to come up with some recipes, raw food, because somebody had said that I should start doing raw. And I said, oh, I don't know about raw. And there are not many veggies on Dr. Sebi's list that you can eat raw. I mean, people eat a lot of raw broccoli and raw cauliflower and raw carrots. But what do you eat raw that is on the list? What do you eat raw? But I'll see what I can do, because I mean, I do understand, and it's a fact that when you boil foods and you cook foods and you overcook it, that you kill the enzymes. So we all get that. But, most of these foods, they have to be cooked. I mean, I'm gonna look into this whole thing about boiling the cereal and getting it acidic. I don't think so. I mean, if I don't think so. I don't believe that, but I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna look into it. So if you don't boil the teff and the rye and the quinoa, what do you do with it? I mean, you sprout it and eat it raw. I don't know. I don't get it. Okay, bye, John Hill. See you. Take care. See you tomorrow. Yeah, so it's after 2 o'clock. It's 2:15 right now. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap this up as well, because I have to get going. I have to go out. And of course, I have to do some cooking before I go out, because I'm not coming back until late tonight. So, thank you guys for watching. Yeah, especially the ripe plantains, because the sugars have developed. That's what I keep telling people. The green plantains, I say okay, because it's all starchy and but the ripe plantains, absolutely. I mean, what's the difference between a ripe Cavendish banana and a ripe plantain? I mean, they're all from the same family anyway. And the SEBI recommends the Cavendish bananas and the green ones, by the way. So then why you cannot eat the ripe plantains? It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Yeah, the brown rice is fine. I've been considering doing that. And this is why I think I'm going to do a lot of things that are not on Sebi's list. I'm going to do it on my Patreon channel. So I'm going to continue doing the Sebian stuff on my YouTube channel, and this other things on my Patreon channel, because I think, I don't want to be in this box, you know. It doesn't mean that I don't admire and appreciate and what Dr. Sebi has done. He has opened my eyes about many things, like I keep saying. But I don't want to be in a box. I mean, there are a lot of things out there, and from my research, most everything that we eat are hybrids. There's nothing that we eat right now that is not a hybrid when you do your research and you realize. But I think he gave us, in his mind, the least detrimental. I think this is what happened. He gave us the least detrimental. What is oxidized grains? Aris latham makes raw plantain with a citrus fruit sauce. Ceviche. Wow. Wow. Is that the green plantain? You have to be talking about the green plantains, right? Oh, that's amazing. Oxygen pulls out bad microorganism. Yeah, because oxygen does kill stuff. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, I should check him out. Aris Latham. Yeah. Plantain ceviche. Wow. It's amazing how people just come up with these fantastic, fantastic recipes. So tasty. So how could you eat meat? I mean, there's so many things to eat out there that is satisfying. You have a, okay. I'm gonna visit your channel, Live Light Well. I'm gonna do this right now when I'm finished here. Wow, Father of Raw. Wow, I should really, really gonna check him out. Definitely. Wow. Yeah, definitely gonna do this when I'm done here. Brother. Yeah, guys. So thank you for watching. Love you guys. Love chatting with you. I could go on and on and on with this, but I have to leave. I have responsibilities. And I promise I'm going to continue drinking my water today. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to push through. I only have one more day or two more days. And I'm going to do it. All right. So take care. Love you guys. And thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow at the same time. If not, I'll let you know in advance, or I'll let you know. Oh, God, I think my daughter has a birthday party or something. Oh my God. I'll see you tomorrow at 12:30. All right? Take care. Bye-bye. Dios te bendiga.